guys, about Holyhead. I've just got off the train and I am heading for the ferry. It's the Stena new route from Holyhead to Belfast. It's only been running for about a week and it's on one of their new ships as well, the Stena Estrid. So I'm really looking forward to this. I haven't been to Belfast for a couple of years now. It's the overnight ferry, so I'll be there in the morning. Why don't you come with me and we'll have a look, see what it's got to offer, and I will catch you on the boat. Cheers for now. The ferry terminal is connected to the railway station at Holyhead. You just get off the train, walk to the end of the platform and go through some doors. And you can see here that both Stena and Irish ferries have a ticket sales office, and there is also one for rail tickets opposite. In the day, a shop cafe type place is open for refreshments. Probably more important for the train than the ferry really at this moment in time. There are, however, vending machines if you need them. From here you have the check-in desks, a departure screen, plus toilets and some seating. And it's a short walk after presenting your boarding details to the security area, where everyone's bags are checked. It's all very similar to an airport really, isn't it? After waiting a while, a bus turns up and all foot passengers are called through some more doors to get on board. The bus then negotiates various areas of the port before eventually arriving at the ferry, where it proceeds to drive straight onto the car deck. Before I go any further, the first thing I should say about the route itself is that the Holyhead to Belfast service was a bit of a short-term temporary offering from Stena, whilst the Republic of Ireland was under stricter COVID restrictions. Well, it turns out it was only around for 4 weekends, so I was quite fortunate to be on it at all, really. Okay, now stick with me for this bit. My ship tonight would be the Chinese-built Stena Estrid, which had only been in service since the start of 2020. It's since continued to ply the usual Holyhead to Dublin route, but its sister ships, the Stena Embla and Stena Edda, now operate the Liverpool to Belfast route. So for a decent overnight crossing you should go with the latter. Just bear in mind too that the Liverpool ferry terminal is actually in Birkenhead, just to complicate things even further of course. Well, I finally made it to deck 8, where the main bar, the sky bar and atrium area was located amidships. And despite being bombarded with the usual PA announcements about COVID control, I did find this to be a pleasant modern area with a really open feel to it. It looked quite classy too, and note the little statues here. We'll see a little bit more of this later on. I made my way past Happy World, which was a kind of kids area, towards a quieter lounge where I suspect some passengers could get some kind of sleep here in the seating area if they needed to. Anyway, talking about sleep, I was really tired at this point, and too tired really to carry out an extensive tour of the ship, and that could wait until the morning. I did make the time, however, to have a quick Guinness in the bar before heading for my cabin. Beers for now. My cabin was located at the stern of the ship on deck 8. Guys, what a cabin. That's all I can say. So let's have a little look around. This is the Deluxe cabin on the Stena Estrid, and it's the most expensive cabin on the boat. And obviously I'm doing this for you guys, so don't worry about it. It's my privilege. Double bed. Don't get that in many cabins, do you, these days? Let's have a look through here. I'm just going to turn the light on. Here we have, excuse the mess, a quite a spacious bathroom actually, which is unusual on ferries in a typical standard inner or outer cabin, inside or outside cabin I should say. So yeah, that's pretty good. Quite nicely decorated as well. By the way, headboard contains USB power and conventional UK power sockets. And I left my charger on the train tonight on the way here because I'm so tired. Fortunately, a fantastic guy called CJ at Customer Services lent me a charger for the night, which is brilliant. So I can't thank him enough for that. Let's have a look at this. We've got a coffee maker here, and obviously a kettle. Some nice cups. I might have an espresso in the morning, actually, thinking about it. And some, move that out of the way, crisps. Sort of crisps, I'll take those with me. Biscuits, chocolates. Alrighty, and what have we here? We have a little fridge. And what's in the fridge? Ah, some pop and some water. Brilliant. I'm not going to be able to drink all that, to be honest. Let's just see how much I can carry with me tomorrow. A window. Oops. There you go. I've got a thing with blinds. I just can't seem to make them work. Anyway, obviously you can't see much. We're actually at sea at the moment. Half an hour into the sailing. It left on time, so that was fine. Excuse the mess. Some chairs and a table. Now a TV as well, by the way. I haven't tried it yet, I just haven't had time. A lovely pot plant in the corner. Don't get that in every cabin, do you? The tall mirror deserves a mirror wave, and there you go. That's for me and the pièce de résistance, guys, tonight with this cabin is check this out. You have outside, and I'm taking my cards just in case I can't get locked out here. Access to the deck. Now it's advertised as your balcony, but it's not really, because it's quite public, as you can see. Nevertheless, it's quite good, isn't it? And as I said, there's not a lot to see tonight, but the ship's by no means full. Otherwise I would imagine this would be packed full of cars while I was on this deck. But there's North Wales in the distance. We're heading to Belfast. I think the ETA in the morning is 7:45. I had about 2 hours sleep last night, so I'm going to head in, get some more sleep, see if I can add to that. I hope so. And yeah, catch you in the morning where it will be light, and I will report a bit more about what it's like on deck and the rest of the ship. I'll speak to you in the morning.
We will be arriving at our destination in 30 minutes.
Well, morning came, and it was a bit longer than 30 minutes as it turned out. I made myself a quick cup of tea, which, thanks to direct access, I was able to enjoy outside, on deck, in a proper cup. And as we sailed down Belfast Lock, there was still plenty to see, and I just about had enough time to explore the outside of the ship and the rest of the interior before it was time to vacate my cabin. Okay, so I went back inside at deck level 7 where I found the barista coffee lounge and also the location of the customer service desk just to the left here, or should I say port. Also on deck 7 is the Taste restaurant, which is the main food outlet on board. As I said, I didn't eat on board, I was too busy exploring, but I thought I'd get some footage of the area anyway. The shop is also on this level but was unfortunately closed at this time. The spaciousness is accentuated when you walk back up to deck 8 because you have this very smart atrium area which really does let a lot of light into this central area. A couple of areas on deck 8 I didn't cover the night before were the Higgy Recline Lounge where a door code can be purchased, giving you access to more comfortable seating and a TV by the looks of it. There is also the Stena Plus Lounge, which is bigger, right at the front of the ship, and you get free tea, coffee, snacks, etc. and some wine apparently, and this is an upgrade price of £20. If I wasn't staying in one of the deluxe cabins, I may well have tried this lounge out because if you get free wine, you'd easily get your money's worth, wouldn't you? Well, I would definitely. Looking back from here, the living room lounge, as it's called, has some really big windows. A nice space to be in on a day crossing, I would say. On the starboard side, near the truckers' lounge, is a small arcade and also some slot machines across the way. And last but by no means least are a couple of free movie lounges. Yes, you did hear me correctly, they are actually free to use. And now the seats are angled towards large screens in the centre of the lounge, and no, they don't look like a conventional ship cinema in any way at all, but I like them. And a really nice touch by Stena, this. I made my way up to deck 9 and from here you can see right down into the atrium area through this window. Does anybody know what shape this window is, by the way? And finally, a further flight of stairs took me up to the sun deck where I was able to exit right on the top of the ship where this fantastic open area was accessible. Now in my opinion, too many ferries have too limited deck space with too many areas roped or barriered off to the public. This is not the case with Stena Estrid, and it's definitely a plus point for me as I like to explore these ships as much as possible. Now incidentally, the name Estrid means beautiful goddess in the ancient Norse language, and I must say it really is a beautiful ship. I really enjoyed this ferry, and as we came into port I had one last look around before summing up my thoughts. Good morning guys from the top deck of the Stena Estrid. We're just about coming into Belfast now, although we don't actually appear to be moving for some reason, I'm not quite sure why. It's 7:38 in the morning, so a reasonable time to arrive, not too early, which is great. The cabin last night was fantastic. You can't beat a double bed, especially when you're tired like I was. That was much appreciated. I had a quick Guinness before I went to bed. Again, absolutely great. The prices are reasonable, £5.20 for a pint, probably expect that on board. Great facilities on board, by the way, and the whole feeling of the ship, in my opinion, is spacious. I really like it, and there's plenty of deck space as well, which is important. So anyway, once we get into Belfast, I'm going to probably catch a couple of buses to the airport. I've got to make my way over to Belfast City Airport to catch a flight back at lunchtime. So thank you for watching this. I do hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. And until the next time, guys, Cheers for now.